You are at a bar, a coffee shop, a party, anywhere people gather and social energy flows. You are not doing anything special. You are just standing there, maybe talking to a friend, maybe scrolling your phone, maybe ordering a drink. And then you feel it. A shift in the air, a subtle change in the atmosphere. You look up, and there she is. She is across the room. She has not said a word to you. She has not even made eye contact yet. But something has changed. The energy around you is different, and if you knew what to look for, you would realize that in that moment, she has already told you everything you need to know about how she feels about you. Most men walk through life completely blind to these signals. They miss the signs. They misinterpret the cues. They walk right past opportunities that are staring them in the face because they do not know the language of female attraction. But once you learn this language, you will never be confused again. You will know exactly what she is telling you, even when she is not saying a word. Let us start with the most obvious, yet most misunderstood, category of attraction signals: physical flirting. This is the language of the body, the primal, evolutionary communication system that has been hardwired into human beings for millions of years. According to communication experts who have studied human interaction extensively, there are 5 distinct flirting styles that women use to signal interest. The first is physical flirting, and it is the one that most men notice, even if they do not always understand what they are seeing. Imagine this scenario. You walk into a room. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are just being yourself. But as you enter, you notice a group of women. They are talking, laughing, engaged in their own conversation. And then, almost imperceptibly, something happens. One of them smiles. It is not a big, dramatic smile. It is a small, automatic, almost involuntary smile that appears for a split second and then disappears. That smile is not a choice. It is a reflex. It is her body's way of saying, "I see you, and I like what I see." She may not even realize she is doing it, but her body knows. Her body has already made a decision long before her conscious mind has caught up. This is evolutionary psychology at work. Being too open about liking someone could have exposed you to brutal rejection and lowered your value in the tribe. So women have developed subtle, almost hidden ways of signaling interest. The automated smile is one of the most reliable cues. If she smiles at you without meaning to, she is interested. But that is just the beginning. Let us take this scenario a little further. You are now in conversation with her. She is laughing at your jokes. She is leaning in. She is engaged. And then you notice something. Her head tilts down and to the side. This is called the doe eyes gesture. It is a classic sign of attraction. By tilting her head down and to the side, she makes herself look more feminine, more submissive, more approachable. When a woman looks more feminine, the men around her tend to experience a subtle increase in testosterone. That subtle increase in testosterone is proven to make men more likely to approach and initiate courtship behavior. She is not just signaling her interest. She is biologically priming you to make a move. This is not a trick. It is not manipulation. It is the language of the body, and it is speaking directly to your instincts. Now, let us talk about her voice. You have probably heard that a higher-pitched tone is associated with romantic interest. And that is true. But there is another vocal cue that is even more powerful in intimate settings. A raspy, low-tone voice also signals attraction. It is a sign of comfort and intimacy. It says, "I feel safe with you. I am relaxed. I am open to you." And if you listen closely, you may even hear her switch between tones. She might start with a slightly lower, more intimate tone and then switch to a higher, more playful tone as the conversation progresses. This vocal variety is a powerful indicator of attraction. She is not just talking to you. She is flirting with you through the very sound of her voice. But what if she is just passing by? What if you are not in a conversation yet? What if you are just watching her walk across the room? In this case, you have to pay attention to her walk. Women have wider pelvises than men, which causes their hips to sway more naturally when they walk. But when they are passing near an attractive man, they might subconsciously or consciously accentuate that swing. It is a signal of fertility, a way of attracting the male gaze. It is not something she thinks about. It is something her body does automatically. If you see a woman walking with a pronounced hip sway when she passes you, she is signaling her interest, whether she knows it or not. The second flirting style is sincere flirting. This is flirting through direct emotional connection. But there is a problem. As we mentioned earlier, we are all evolutionarily wired to not be so direct. So before admitting their feelings, most women will first behave in ways that will make them more likable. How do they do this? Through a series of subtle behavioral changes that are backed by scientific research. The first is culinary choices. Across multiple experiments, researchers discovered that women are more likely to order something healthy, like a salad, when they are near an attractive man. It is a subconscious signal of health and vitality, a way of showing that she is a good long-term mate. The second is nurturing traits. A woman is more likely to be publicly generous and hide any negative reactions towards babies when she is in the company of a good-looking guy. Evolutionarily speaking, she does this to be seen as fit for long-term mating and motherhood. The third is agreeableness. In a field experiment, both attractive and unattractive men were asked to deliver persuasive messages to female students. Guess who had an easier time convincing the women that they were right? Exactly. Attractive men. Women are more agreeable when they are around men they find attractive. Let us bring this to life with a real scenario. You are on a date. You have just sat down at a nice restaurant. She is looking at the menu. She is smiling. She is engaged. But then you notice something. She orders a salad, not a burger, not pasta, a salad. At first, you might think she is just health conscious. And maybe she is. But if she is health conscious in general, she would order a salad whether you were there or not. The question is this consistent with her normal behavior? If you have seen her order burgers before, if you have seen her indulge, and suddenly she is ordering a salad when she is with you, she is signaling. She is showing you that she is trying to be the best version of herself around you. That is a sign of attraction. Now, let us move to the third flirting style, polite flirting. This is the sketchy one. People who have this flirting style tend to actually become colder and more distant when they like someone. It sounds counterintuitive, but it is true. Imagine a date where the woman has already specified that she likes the man, yet she gives cues that she is not interested. For example, he asks her, "What is your favorite spot to go to around here?" And she says, "To be honest, I do not go out very much." This is what communication experts call a dream killer. When we like someone, we try to relate and keep the conversation going. But her answer literally killed the conversation. It signaled that she does not want to do anything with him. Yet she kept smiling. She kept leaning towards him. So part of her still signaled attraction. The problem is that these kinds of people are harder to read. You have to look for indirect signs of interest. The first indirect sign is preparation. Multiple studies suggest that women are way more likely to wear red through clothing, makeup, or accessories if they expect to meet an attractive man. Red is a color associated with passion, desire, and fertility. It is a powerful signal. If a woman shows up to a date wearing red, she is not just dressing casually. She is dressing for you. The second indirect sign is competition. As proven by scientific literature, women are more likely to act harshly or criticize other women whom they see as romantic rivals. So if she becomes jealous when you hang out with another girl or mention another woman's name, she might be into you. She is staking her claim, even if she is not saying it directly. Let us bring this to life with a scenario. You are at a social gathering. You are talking to a woman you find interesting. Everything is going well. Then, a female friend of yours walks over and starts chatting with you. She is friendly. She is warm. Everything is innocent. But you notice that the woman you were talking to suddenly becomes a little colder. Her smile tightens. Her body language becomes less open. She might even make a subtle comment about your friend. She is not being rude. She is being territorial. She is signaling that she does not like the competition. This is a powerful sign of attraction. If she did not care about you, she would not care about your friend. The fourth flirting style is playful flirting. This is one of the most fun and most misunderstood forms of attraction. Since we were kids, we tend to tease our parents and the people around us. We pretend to offer something and then quickly pull it away. We playfully refuse to do certain tasks. We disrupt an activity to provoke a reaction. But we never do this with people we hate or are afraid of. Why? Because this is a signal of trust. It is our primordial way of saying, I feel safe with you, so I assume that I can misbehave a little without making you angry. That is why you see many women teasing a man when they like him. But it is not only a sign of trust, it can also be a hidden test. You see, teasing her back in a fun and creative way is a demonstration of intelligence, something we look for in possible mates. But good teasing needs to be rude enough to create tension, but playful enough to keep it fun. Imagine this scenario. You are talking to a woman. The conversation is flowing. She is laughing. And then she playfully teases you. Maybe she makes fun of your taste in music. Maybe she jokes about your fashion sense. She is not being mean. She is being playful. She is testing to see how you react. If you get defensive, you fail the test. If you get angry, you fail the test. But if you tease her back, if you give as good as you get, you pass the test. You show her that you are confident, that you are not threatened by her playfulness, that you can handle a little banter. This is a powerful way to build attraction. It creates tension. It creates excitement. It shows her that you are not just another nice guy who will agree with everything she says. Let us consider a concrete example. She says, you know, you are not as funny as you think you are. You could get defensive and say, what do you mean? I am hilarious. That would be a mistake. Instead, you could smile and say, funny enough to make you laugh 3 times in the last 5 minutes. That is playful. That is confident. That is attractive. It shows her that you are not easily shaken, that you can handle a little teasing, that you are a man who is comfortable in his own skin. The 5th flirting style is traditional flirting. Women with this flirting style expect the man to make the first move and lead the interaction. She will give you subtle signs to approach her. She will want you to start the conversation. She will let you choose the date and make the plans. But she will also respond very warmly when you take the lead. You will notice this behavior a lot in romance novels, where the man is hyper-competent and takes care of the entire interaction, while she gets to tap into that girly energy. She will expect you to bring out your masculine charisma. This does not mean you have to be aggressive or domineering. It means you have to be decisive. You have to be clear. You have to take initiative. Let us bring this to life with a scenario. You are at a party. You see a woman you are interested in. You make eye contact. She smiles. She looks away. She looks back. You know she is interested, but she is not coming over to you. She is waiting. She is giving you the opportunity to approach. If you walk over and start a conversation, she will be warm and receptive. If you wait for her to make the first move, you will be waiting a long time. She is traditional. She expects you to lead. And if you do, she will follow. This is not a game. It is a dance. It is the ancient, primal dance of attraction that has been played out for thousands of years. Now, let us talk about what happens when you start to notice these signals. The first step is awareness. You need to start paying attention to the subtle cues that women are sending you. The smile that comes too quickly, the head tilt, the vocal changes, the hip sway, the playful teasing, the indirect jealousy, the traditional waiting. These are all signs that she is interested. But awareness is only the first step. The next step is response. You need to respond to these signals in a way that encourages them. If she gives you a smile, smile back. If she tilts her head, meet her gaze. If she teases you, tease her back. If she waits for you to approach, approach. The goal is not to play games. The goal is to build connection. The goal is to let her know that you are not just blind to her signals. You see her. You appreciate her. You are interested too. The philosopher Martin Buber, who wrote extensively on the philosophy of dialogue, distinguished between I-it relationships, where we treat others as objects, and I-thou relationships, where we truly encounter another person. When you see a woman's signals and respond to them with presence and awareness, you are entering into an I-thou relationship. You are seeing her as a full person, not just as an object of attraction. And that, more than anything, is what will make her want to be with you. There is also an important psychological concept to consider here: confirmation bias. When you believe that women are not interested in you, you will only see evidence that supports that belief. You will miss the signs. You will misinterpret the signals. You will walk right past opportunities that are right in front of you. But when you believe that women are interested in you, you will start to see the evidence everywhere. You will notice the smiles. You will notice the head tilts. You will notice the vocal changes. You will see the opportunities that have always been there, but that you were too blind to see before. The philosopher William James, one of the founders of American psychology, observed that we do not see things as they are. We see things as we are. If you believe that women are not interested, that is what you will see. But if you believe that women are interested, you will start to see the truth. Let us now talk about the practical steps you can take to start seeing these signals and responding to them effectively. The first step is to slow down. Most men are so focused on what they are going to say next that they miss the signals that are right in front of them. When you slow down, when you become more present, you start to notice the subtle cues that you were missing before. You notice the smile. You notice the head tilt. You notice the vocal changes. The second step is to trust your instincts. If you feel like she is interested, she probably is. You are not imagining it. Your brain is picking up on signals that you are not consciously aware of. Trust that. The third step is to respond. Not with desperation, not with neediness, but with presence. Smile back. Meet her gaze. Engage her in conversation. Show her that you are not just another man who is blind to her signals. Show her that you see her. The philosopher George Herbert Mead, who wrote extensively on the social self, observed that we become ourselves through our interactions with others. When you respond to her signals with presence and awareness, you are not just building a connection with her. You are becoming a more aware, more present version of yourself. Now, there is one more thing to consider. The signals that women send are not always consistent. A woman might show some signs of interest and not others. She might be a physical flirt, but not a traditional flirt. She might be a playful flirt, but not a sincere flirt. The key is not to look for every single signal. The key is to look for the signal that matters most to you. What are you looking for in a relationship? What kind of connection do you want? If you want a deep emotional connection, look for the signals of sincere flirting. If you want a playful, fun connection, look for the signals of playful flirting. If you want a traditional, romantic connection, look for the signals of traditional flirting. The signals are there. You just have to know what to look for. Let us bring everything together with a final, comprehensive scenario. You are at a party. You see a woman across the room. She smiles at you automatically. That is the first signal. You smile back. You approach her. As you start talking, she tilts her head to the side, making herself look more feminine. That is the second signal. She speaks in a warm, slightly raspy voice, and you notice her pitch varies. That is the third signal. She orders a salad at the bar, even though you saw her eating a burger earlier. That is the fourth signal. She playfully teases you about your shoes, and when you tease her back, she laughs. That is the fifth signal. She does not make the first move. She waits for you to take the lead. That is the sixth signal. She is telling you everything you need to know. She is interested. She is attracted. She is waiting for you to make the move. The question is, are you going to see the signals? Are you going to trust what you see? Are you going to respond with presence and confidence? The choice is yours. The signals are there. Always have been. Always will be. Now you know what to look for. Now you know how to read the language of female attraction. And once you know the language, you will never be blind to it again.